Hello and welcome to another episode of Video Game Easter Eggs. In today's episode, we take a trip to Bikini Bottom in the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 remake, we find a giant sunflower in Backroom Loop, and we discover what nothing is in an unfinished game. As always, if you think you know of an Easter egg, secret or hidden detail that I'm yet to cover, then let me know in the comments. And if you want to further support the many hours I pour into recording each and every one of these Easter eggs myself, then check out the link to my Patreon in the description. Anyway, without further delay, let's get started. Right, let's begin today's video with an unfinished game. And no, I don't mean the latest game pooped out by Ubisoft. I mean a game actually called an unfinished game. The whole point of this game is to finish the game. That means destroying bugs and quote-unquote play-testing levels. It's a very funny game, and has more than a passing resemblance to the Stanley Parable in the way that it openly acknowledges how silly the whole premise is. For proof of this, near the beginning of the game, you can find two signs, one directing you to the lobby and the other directing you to nothing. Well, I'm nothing if not curious, so let's see what nothing actually looks like. So it turns out that nothing is 2 blocks from Minecraft. But that's not all. If you turn around, you can also find the companion cube from Portal, which, given that we're in a test facility, does make sense, and probably explains why later in the game you can also find more companion cubes and a person having premature portal problems. Oh, and after heading to the lobby, you can find another sign directing you to nothing. Let's see which video game gets referenced this time. Oh, okay, it's just nothing this time. My bad. So if video games have taught me one thing, it's that if you see a wild chicken, don't kill it. Now that may sound like pretty straightforward advice, but sometimes the temptation to kill chickens can become too much. But what's the worst that could really happen? Well, probably this. So after killing a couple of chickens, a giant chicken wielding a double-barreled shotgun will spawn and try to turn the tables on you. I mean, as you can see, this courageous chicken did fail, but I have to give the feathery fella credit for trying. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but I think the first game to punish players for killing chickens was the original Legend of Zelda, and it's appeared in other Zelda games since then, but if I'm wrong, then let me know. Now, when it comes to famous video game creators, you could argue that none are more famous than Jeff Keighley's best friend, Hideo Kojima. The man is responsible for some of gaming's most loved titles, but he's also someone who isn't scared to put himself in the spotlight, as seen here in Cyberpunk 2077. Well, you probably won't be surprised to learn that Mr. Kojima also appears in Death Stranding 2. And more than once. At the very beginning of the game, when Sam approaches his hideout, this will happen. So one of the gooey beings that tries to grab at Sam is Hideo Kojima. Now granted, this might not be him. I mean, it's kind of hard to make out someone's facial features when they are covered in tar. And even though this particular person is wearing glasses, we can't confidently say that this is the man himself. Well, one of the ways that Sam can relax is by using a hot spring. And when you do this at night, you also have the option to do a bit of stargazing. Here you can see constellations resembling Lu, the Kojima Production Studio logo, and other random things.
What the hell is even that?
Well, one of the other constellations you can see is this. So among the stars is the face of Kojima, and this time there really is no mistaking him. I mean, could this be seen as a little egotistical? Probably. Is it a cool Easter egg? Definitely. Now, a recent trend on Steam has been the release of loop games. These games see you passing through the same environment over and over again, with the sole aim of trying to spot things that are out of the ordinary. I mean, the first loop game that I played was Exit 8, and in my opinion, that's still the best example of a loop game. But Backroom Loop is decent, and it also has loads of Easter eggs. Now, recording these Easter eggs was tricky, as their appearances were random, which meant I just had to play the game endlessly until one popped up, and the first one that did was this. So this sunflower is a reference to Flowey from Undertale, but before you have to face him in battle, a goat will appear to save the day, which was nice of him. Next up, when approaching the end of the corridor, you can find this. So despite claiming to be 100% safe, jumping off the edge sees our character miss the hay bale and fail in their attempt to recreate the leap of faith from Assassin's Creed. I mean, admittedly, it's not the game's fault that we didn't stick the landing. Oh, and in one of the loops, I found this person sitting in a chair with a sword next to them. Now, this might not be a reference to anything, but I thought I'd ask here to see if it was. As always, let me know what you think. Right, let's end today's video with the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 remake. Now, despite the missing songs and the removal of the free roam Tony Hawk 4 career mode, this game is awesome. If I'm honest, it just feels good to play another Tony Hawk game. Well, another Tony Hawk game that isn't Tony Hawk 5 anyway. I get it, it's a massive shame that the game's iconic soundtrack was gutted, presumably due to pricey licenses. And the fact that we don't get the actual Tony Hawk's 4 campaign is even more annoying. But don't let that put you off of what is some quality Tony Hawk action. Now, one of my favourite levels from Tony Hawk 3 was the airport. This level acted almost like a runway as you made your way from check-in all the way to departures. When you reach departures, you can hear the very familiar sound of the airport tannoy broadcasting important announcements, such as this.
Flight 222 to Tucson is receiving a tow and a tune-up and is now 2 minutes behind schedule. That's 222 to Tucson for a tow and a tune-up. 2 minutes behind schedule.
So, Flight 22 to Tucson is receiving a tow and a tune-up and is now 2 minutes behind schedule. Got it. Well, another announcement may sound more familiar.
The driver of a white sedan, you left your lights on.
So apparently the driver of a white sedan left their lights on, which is a one-way ticket to a drained battery. Now, this line of dialogue isn't meant to raise awareness on the perils of leaving a car's lights on. It is instead a reference to Spongebob SquarePants.
Whoever's the owner of the white sedan, you left your lights on.
Of course, that's not the only SpongeBob reference in the game. On the Skater Island level, if you grind on the edge of the pirate ship and jump pretty far, which admittedly may take a couple of tries, this will happen. So none of that was edited by me. That's exactly how the Easter egg goes, which is brilliant. I mean, I probably don't have to say this, but this is Bikini Bottom from SpongeBob. And in the distance, you can see the homes of Patrick, Squidward, and SpongeBob. To be honest, there isn't much to do here, and launching yourself off the ramp just takes you back to the level. But it's still really cool. So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then leaving a like is really appreciated. If you are a fan of Easter eggs and secrets in games, then perhaps consider subscribing, as that's what this channel is all about. YouTube seems to think that you'll enjoy the video on screen now, so go ahead and check that out. And as always, thank you all for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.